Welcome back, MVP Road Car crew. Today we're diving into something wild, something unexpected, and something that's already blowing up the internet. The 2026 Ford Mustang Pickup Truck. Yeah, you heard that right. The legendary Mustang DNA blended with the practicality of a truck. Whether you think it's genius or madness, this thing deserves a full deep dive, so let's get into it. Imagine the first moment you see it in person. The stance hits you immediately. Low, wide, aggressive, and clearly carrying the Mustang attitude even though it has a truck bed behind it. Ford didn't just slap a bed on a Mustang. They genuinely reshaped its proportions to make it work. You still get that long, muscular hood with crisp lines carving forward like it's slicing air even at a standstill. The front fascia carries familiar Mustang cues, sharp LED, headlights with that triple bar signature, a more pronounced grille, and a slightly more squared-off lower bumper to give it that tougher, utility-ready look. Move to the side, and this is where things get interesting. The wheel arches are flared but not bulky. Ford kept the proportions sleek, almost coupe-like, so the truck profile doesn't look awkward. The doors are long, hinting at that sporty cabin feel, and the bed integrates cleanly instead of jutting out like an afterthought. The beltline kicks upward toward the rear, giving the whole silhouette a sense of motion and performance. Depending on the trim, you'll see anything from 19-inch lightweight performance wheels to a set of more rugged, high-wall tires if you opt for the off-road-oriented variant. Around the back, the Mustang influence is unmistakable. Triple-bar taillights sit vertically on a thicker rear frame, with a tailgate designed to be more aerodynamic than your typical pickup. You've got subtle sculpting, body color panels, and a dual exhaust setup on the performance trims that sounds exactly like a Mustang should: deep, rumbling, and unapologetic. The bed isn't huge, it's more lifestyle truck size than workhorse, but it's functional. Tie-downs, optional bed liner, a compact power outlet, and Ford's built-in step assist make it useful for hauling bikes, gear, tools, or weekend toys. Now step inside, and the cabin feels far more Mustang than truck. You sit slightly higher than a regular Mustang coupe, but the cockpit vibe is still there. Driver-focused, sporty, and modern. The digital gauge cluster stretches wide across the dash, customizable with Mustang-style animations, performance gauges, and off-road data depending on your drive mode. The center display is a large vertical touchscreen that floats cleanly, running the latest Ford Sync software with fast response, crisp graphics, and wireless everything. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and over-the-air updates that keep features fresh over time. The steering wheel is thick, flat-bottomed, with well-weighted controls and paddle shifters on the higher trims. Ford added more storage than you'd find in a normal Mustang. Of course, deep center console, door bins, and an under-seat compartment if you go with the extended cab model. The materials vary depending on trim. Entry-level models get durable synthetic leather and brushed metallic accents. Move up and you'll see premium leather, contrast stitching, carbon fiber inserts, and even ambient lighting that changes with drive modes. Seats are one of the cabin's highlights. They're bolstered like a sports car but cushioned enough for long drives. Heating and ventilation are available. And the top-tier package adds massaging seats, something Mustang traditionalists won't expect but will definitely appreciate. The rear seats in the extended cab aren't huge, but they're comfortable for adults on shorter trips or kids anytime. Fold them up and you've got even more cargo flexibility inside the cabin. Now let's talk performance, because this is where the Mustang pickup becomes more than just a quirky idea. Under the hood, the base engine is expected to be a 2.3-liter EcoBoost turbocharged 4-cylinder, tuned to deliver around 315 horsepower, enough to move the truck slightly heavier. Body with confidence while offering decent fuel efficiency. But let's be honest, most people looking at a Mustang-themed truck are going to want more power, and Ford knows that. Enter the 5.0-liter Coyote V8. In this truck, it's tuned somewhere in the neighborhood of 480 horsepower, delivering the kind of sound and acceleration Mustang fans crave. You get that immediate throttle punch, that growl that turns heads, and the satisfying pull all the way through the rev range. A 10-speed automatic transmission is standard across all models, but the performance? Trim gets recalibrated shift mapping to keep the power band in its sweet spot. Handling is surprisingly sharp for a pickup. The chassis is stiffened, the suspension is sport-tuned, and the steering is precise. Of course, it's not going to carve corners exactly like a coupe, but for a truck, it's borderline impressive. The lower center of gravity, compared to typical pickups, and the Mustang-inspired tuning make it genuinely fun to drive. It grips well, accelerates hard, and gives you enough road feel to keep things engaging. For buyers more interested in practicality than track spirit, Ford offers an all-wheel drive version. It gives better stability in rain, snow, gravel, or dirt, and the torque vectoring system keeps the truck composed even under harder driving. There's also an optional off-road package with raised suspension, skid plates, and beefier tires, turning it into a lifestyle adventure vehicle without sacrificing its sporty roots. Towing and payload numbers aren't meant to rival full-size trucks, but they're respectable. Expect towing capacity around 5,000 pounds and payload in the 200-pound range, enough for trailers, jet skis, or small equipment. Think of it as a sporty truck that can still get real things done. And now let's get into pricing, because that's what everyone is waiting for. Ford seems to be positioning the Mustang pickup strategically, not trying to replace the Ranger or the F-150, but creating a new niche. The base EcoBoost model should start somewhere around the low to mid $30,000 range, making it surprisingly accessible for something with Mustang heritage. Step up to the mid-level trim with more features, better materials, and all-wheel drive, and you're looking at the low 40,000s. The real excitement, though, is the V8 model. With the bigger engine, upgraded suspension, premium interior, and those signature performance touches, it's expected to land in the low to mid $50,000 range. Add every option: off-road package, panoramic roof, upgraded sound system, premium leather, and advanced driver assists, and you could push it into the low 60,000s. But for what it offers, that price strikes a balance between performance vehicle and lifestyle truck. The 2026 Mustang pickup truck is bold. It's a mix of muscle car attitude, modern practicality, and Ford's willingness to experiment in a way few brands ever do. It's not trying to be the toughest truck or the fastest sports car, but instead something exciting that blends the best parts of both worlds. If you want a truck that looks different, drives like nothing else in the segment, and carries the Mustang spirit into a new form, this might be the one. And that wraps up our in-depth look at the 2026 Mustang pickup truck. If you enjoyed the breakdown and want more deep dive reviews like this, you know what to do. Stick around, stay tuned, and keep riding with MVP Road Car.